Good Wednesday afternoon. It's just after 1 o'clock, just about 1:10. I'm WWL Louisiana meteorologist Alexa Trischler here to bring you the latest on the severe weather we are expecting this afternoon through tonight. Thank you for joining, however you're joining. WWL Plus, streaming online through social media, YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff. Here to talk about the severe weather. We're starting to see some bigger storms happening now on the North Shore. The North Shore is actually where the highest risk for severe weather is today. So we've got some pretty big storms popping up already for Washington Parish. You see that some of these look a little interesting. They have the capacity to rotate. We have no severe warnings issued now, no tornado warnings issued at the moment, but we're watching for these storms today. They could potentially rotate. We could see isolated tornadoes today. It is possible. We are actually under a tornado watch across all of Southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi until 8 o'clock tonight because of that potential. So we've got some stronger storms pushing through Bogalusa, Washington Parish, seeing the heaviest of the rain and storms now. Quite a bit of lightning within that cell as it moves pretty quickly off to the northeast. We'll have some passing heavier downpours with these storms, quite a bit of lightning and gusty winds. These storms are probably producing wind gusts above 40, maybe up to 50 miles per hour occasionally. So we'll continue to see more storms developing throughout the course of today. We've got some isolated showers and storms popping up in St. Tammany Parish, also for parts of Tangipahoa Parish, and they're kind of racing on through. So that's what we have. We're in the warm sector now, out ahead of a cold front that will be moving in this evening. And while we're in this warm sector, we have the ingredients for severe weather that are coming together in line. That's why we are under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. Looking down at the South Shore, not much happening at the moment, but we are expecting more storms to fire up throughout the course of the afternoon. They will be isolated in nature, but even though they're just isolated, we can still get isolated severe storms within this environment that we are in. We have one shower that's passing through New Orleans east. It's moving now closer to the twin span right now. So not much happening on the South Shore. Currently, we're really watching these storms, though, fire up on the North Shore as we've been watching them over the last hour or so. So some heavier showers, some stronger storms pushing through Washington Parish at the moment. These are struggling to rotate, which is good news, but we're still going to have a close eye on if these can produce tornadoes throughout the course of today. So just make sure you have your phones charged, have a way to get weather alerts, because we'll just be pretty vigilant with this throughout the course of the afternoon and into tonight as the front finally moves in, coming into this evening hours. A closer look at St. Tammany Parish. Those showers moving through Covington right now, starting to move across Lake Pontchartrain at the moment. Some steadier showers along parts of Tangipahoa Parish as well, and Hammond seeing some heavier rain. They got a downpour just a little while ago, a little over an hour ago. But these storms are racing through, but as they move quickly, they could do those quick spin-up tornadoes that we talk about sometimes because the environment is kind of ripe for that. We've got all the ingredients lining up and in place out ahead of this cold front. So we're in the warm sector now. We'll have isolated strong to severe storms throughout the afternoon. And then this evening, as the front moves closer, we'll have a line of storms that pushes in tonight. And that's only watching for the strong wind gust potential this evening, probably after dinner time. So the evening commute, you may have some passing rain, but especially tonight after we get past 7, between about 7 and 11 tonight, I think that's when we'll have that line of storms move in. Though, you know, sometimes things speed up a little bit or slow down. So that's why we'll be watching the severe weather risk with you all day today. The important thing is to note is there is that tornado watch for all of our parishes in Southeast Louisiana, all of our counties in South Mississippi. That's until 8 o'clock tonight. It just means the ingredients are there just to pay extra attention to what's going on. Pay attention to the radar, download our WWL app, have a way to receive alerts. We'll be here online with you, especially if something pops up suspicious. We'll be popping in on air and checking back with you all day today. Today is a weather impact alert because of the strong to severe storm potential throughout the afternoon into late tonight. Really, the biggest thing we'll be watching for, strong winds within these storms that could produce wind gusts above 50, 60 miles per hour at times, especially tonight when the line of storms pushes in. Some heavier downpours, which could always, you know, cause a nuisance when you're trying to drive around, but also we're watching for that isolated tornado risk, especially on the North Shore. Like I mentioned, download our WWL app, have a way to get severe warnings in case they are issued. Don't forget to charge your cell phones too, or if you have a NOAA radio, just a way to have those alerts secured throughout the course of today. It is warm, it is humid out ahead of this cold front. You know, sometimes the air really heats up and surges right before we get that cold front and all the storms come in, and that's really the ingredients that we have that can fuel these storms. It's warm, it's moist, we've got a little bit of wind shear allowing the storms to rotate. It's possible, not a guarantee, but things are kind of extra there for us to focus on today. A little bit more than your average day, of course. When we talk about severe storms, it's always something we want to pay close attention to. It doesn't mean it will happen exactly where you live, but it could happen somewhere across the region, so we don't want to leave anybody out. 83 degrees right now. Feels like 89 because it's so humid. Dew points are in the 70s, and it's windy. We're not even seeing most areas affected by storms right now, but we're still windy out ahead of this system. As the pressure gradient tightens, it's going to be windy throughout the course of today. We're talking southerly winds 20 miles per hour sustained currently. We could have gusts above 30 miles per hour, maybe close to 40 miles per hour at times. We'll get you through the forecast today. We'll be in the low 80s this afternoon, windy, partly sunny, occasional rain and storms that could be strong to severe this afternoon. And then we'll be tracking more storms through tonight as the front pushes in. And the front will be gone by the overnight. So tomorrow we wake up to a different feel. It's going to be much cooler tomorrow and nicer tomorrow. So let's time out today with Precision Cast. This is what we have for the afternoon. These isolated storms that don't look all too bad on our future radar, on our precision cast, well, these storms still could be isolated strong to severe. They could rotate. We could get an isolated tornado risk within these storms and some brief gusty winds, heavier showers, quite a bit of lightning within these discrete cells that fire up out ahead of the main line that is coming in later tonight. So expect some passing storms this afternoon into about dinner time. So we'll have a few showers and storms around 5 o'clock or so when people are heading home from work. The front gets closer, and as the front moves closer, this is that main line I've been discussing, talking about coming in probably after 7 p.m. tonight. And along this line, that's where we'll have the strong wind gust potential, some heavier showers pushing in, and even right out ahead of it, you may get an isolated tornado risk. So you can't rule that out either. Really, just the rest of today is going to be pretty busy and active when it comes to the weather. So even this line coming in, the main thing we watch within a line of storms are strong winds, but isolated tornadoes are possible out ahead of it. Not a big risk for the entire area, but something we'll certainly watch, especially for the North Shore out ahead of that main line this evening. The line continues to move in. This is at 9 o'clock tonight, so we're talking nighttime showers and storms along this line, pushing off to the east as the front trails off to the east as well. This is around 11 o'clock tonight, still dealing with some rain and storms, some gusty winds and heavy showers within those storms. The front moves in overnight. This is just past midnight. We start to see the storms dwindle down, and by the early part of the overnight hours, like 2, 3 a.m., I think we'll be basically done with the rain and storms. So things do quiet down heading into the overnight hours. We'll have some clouds lingering tomorrow morning, but tomorrow will be much cooler, more seasonable weather for Thursday and Friday. We have a cool down for a couple days, and then we have more strong to severe storms on Saturday. So we've got the roller coaster of weather that we've been talking about over the last few days. It's happening throughout the rest of the week. Into the weekend, we're kind of up and down with temperatures, up and down with storms. So today, like we mentioned earlier, our risk for severe weather has gone up for the North Shore. So our North Shore parishes and Pearl River County, South Mississippi, you can't always follow within these bounds, but generally expecting if you're north of the lake and in South Mississippi, that's where the risk is a bit higher. We're at a level 3 out of 5 risk north of the lake. It's the enhanced risk, and you notice this hatching, meaning that an isolated strong storm could produce a tornado, and the tornado in that hatching area may be a little bit more intense, a little bit more long-lived. So that's why we're being extra vigilant on what's happening today. We could see maybe an isolated strong tornado north of the lake getting into this afternoon throughout the evening time frame. So watching for tornadoes today. The rest of the area, most of southeast Louisiana, South Mississippi, we're under a slight risk, level 2 out of 5. Still want to watch for tornadoes across the board today. You never know, these bounds aren't exactly perfect. They're just a general guideline. So we'll be watching for tornadoes isolated in nature throughout the course of today across the entire area. Also, the biggest thing will be the strong wind gusts within the storms. We could see isolated gusts maybe up to 50 or 60 miles per hour, and maybe even some small hail in addition to some heavier showers, maybe picking up a ½ inch of rain up to 1 inch of rainfall. Now, I did want to pull back up on our radar here because it looks like we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. I just want to quickly go over that before I show you what's coming in this weekend. Just quickly go over what's happening on radar right now. We're actually monitoring the National Weather Service chat. They're very on top of all things going on with these storms, and they actually happen to just issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Washington Parish. The northern part of Washington Parish is under a severe thunderstorm warning right now because of the wind gusts. So we're talking strong wind gusts, maybe up to 50 or 60 plus miles per hour within this storm. And you can see it's quite a bit, it's quite a robust storm you're seeing here on radar. Some frequent lightning within that storm. You can see all the lightning flashes there, heavy downpours as well. And this is moving off to the northeast. It's moving into South Mississippi. So this is the northern portion of Washington Parish seeing a severe thunderstorm warning, and the reason being the strong wind gusts that could exceed 50 or 60 miles per hour. So that's what we have for today. Don't be surprised if we get more of these severe thunderstorm warnings issued. Don't be surprised if maybe we get a rogue tornado warning. Don't let it catch you off guard today, because this is what we, have on tap. It's better to overwarn and make sure you know than to not tell you, of course. So taking a wider look at what's happening, still watching mostly the North Shore impacted by isolated showers and storms. Of course, we've got this stronger storm in Washington Parish now. There's a lot of lightning within that storm, and gusty winds, of course, will follow. Now you notice that severe warning has been issued farther to the northeast as it moves out of our area towards Hattiesburg. So it's actually traveling out of our area pretty quickly at this point. But if you're in northern Washington Parish, of course, you want to take it easy, ride this storm, ride it out, let it move off to the northeast and head off towards Hattiesburg. So I wanted to mention before we hop off, we basically do have some changes on the way. I mentioned earlier, we're watching for severe weather today, isolated tornadoes, strong winds, heavy downpours, maybe even some small hail. The front pushes in tonight. We're done with the storms heading into the overnight hours, so about 2 a.m. or so, I think we'll be basically done. We may get up to a ½ an inch to maybe 1 inch or so of rain, but there could be locally higher amounts where you may have to deal with some big puddles and ponding on your drive here and there. So make sure you drive carefully if you do get stuck in one of these downpours, or if there's some, water just kind of hanging around in a big puddle where water sometimes collects when we get a heavy downpour. So tomorrow I wanted to mention that it's going to feel a lot different. It's not going to be humid. It will be a lot cooler behind this front. We wake up tomorrow to the 50s in the morning, 60s only in the afternoon, so great weather. And I also wanted to mention Saturday, there's another risk for severe weather. So we get cooler and we are pretty nice on Thursday and Friday. Then Saturday we warm up again and turn pretty humid. And then we have a potent cold front that pushes in on Saturday. And I already want to put this on your radar because we have parades happening on Saturday. It looks like late Saturday night into the overnight hours of early Sunday, we'll see a line of pretty strong storms that we'll be watching pretty closely. There's already a severe risk possible with these storms coming in later Saturday through early Sunday. Once that front pushes in, we'll finally see a stretch of chilly weather settling in on Sunday, and we'll stay chilly through early next week. Like I mentioned, we're already being highlighted for a severe weather risk on Saturday, a little bit higher just north of us. That includes Macomb, Mississippi. That's an enhanced risk, and it's close by. You never know. It might, be extended southward, at least for our area. A majority, at least half of our area, is in a slight risk already for Saturday. That's a level 2 out of 5 risk. So already monitoring our next severe weather potential after today. So we've got today temperatures in the low 80s, some strong storms throughout the afternoon, and more strong storms on tap tonight. Cool and nice tomorrow in the 60s. Cool again Friday for Valentine's Day, maybe a stray shower later Friday, and then that's really about it. We don't see our next rain and storm potential coming in until late Saturday. Could have a few passing showers and storms early in the day Saturday, but it looks like the bulk of the rain and storms, the severe part at least, comes in late Saturday into early Sunday. It will be windy throughout the course of that time as well, and then much cooler going into Sunday, and then early next week we'll only be in the 60s in the afternoons, 50s as well. Chilly, we're talking mornings in the 30s to start next week, which will feel nice since it's been, unseasonably warm and humid the last few days. So we'll get a cool down going into next week behind these busy systems. So thanks for tuning in. We will, of course, be back here to bring you the latest, especially if we get any more warnings issued. We want to give you a break, get you back to your day today, but we'll be watching the storms all day. Make sure you hop back on here and join us back when we do return to provide you some more coverage with these storms as the day progresses. So thanks for tuning in and enjoy your Wednesday.